Fair warning, if you are not a Christian, if you don't believe in God, if you don't believe in the supernatural, neither do you believe in miracles, then this video is not for you. Feel free, take the exit door and leave this video, because I have something to banter with some people, some Christians. This video is not to support or oppose anybody's testimony, right? This video is on the fact that we've shifted our focus to the fact that God cannot do the supernaturals. The 5 major things I learned from this whole issue is the fact that, before I do so, I want you guys to remember that this is Bread and Wine with Omotola Jacob, and of course this is Omotola Jacob, and welcome to those who have subscribed. Thanks for subscribing, Wagwan. And to those who are yet to subscribe, hold up, subscribe, then come back to this video. Thank you. Number 1, these people are so bold. When we talk about boldness, I think these people should come at the forefront of bold Christians. I'm not going to lie, but sharing testimony in front of my church members, especially a church as big as mine, is not something I usually do. I think I've only shared testimony once in church, but I'm not going to lie, I rather share testimony with my unit members than stand in front of people and share the testimony. First and foremost, I'm a private person. I don't like my testimony all day. And secondly, I'm not even sure about what you guys think about my testimony. But we can see from these people that they were so sure. Like, I watched this video several times and I could see the boldness in what they were saying. If you were to wake these people up and tell them to narrate the same story, they would just narrate it to you. And whether or not they are lying about their testimony, they are sure bold about what they have to say about themselves. And I think that is something we need to gain as Christians, because God has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, of sound mind, and the spirit of love. So the ability to be able to share God's goodness in our lives towards other people, whether they believe or whether they did not believe, is merely something that we need to work on. I am the first on this list, trust me, because I kind of retain my testimony. In fact, I'm like, God, thank you for this testimony. I appreciate you. Thank you, Jesus. And that is all. Pardon me. Okay, the second thing I learned from this whole issue is the fact that these people know their identity. They know who they are. I am chosen. I'm of a royal priesthood. I'm of a holy nation, and I've brought forth the praises of him who has called me out of darkness into the kingdom of his dear son. I am chosen of God. I am chosen to be a light. I am chosen to shine. I am chosen for the supernaturals. I can heal the sick and they become better. I can raise the dead and they wake up. Jesus raised Lazarus from the dead. Who else is going to believe that story in this generation? Dorcas, who was raised from the dead by Peter. How is she going to explain that testimony to you guys? You guys, stop giving our Bible characters headache, because I am having serious headache on this issue. When we look back at this whole story, we see that these people know their identity. They keep saying who they are, whether or not it is our business or not. They are chosen. They are chosen. Of course, I am chosen, and I do not take me being chosen for granted. I know what it is like to be outside of God. I know what it is like to not be of God. I know what it is like to suffer on my own, and having salvation is something that I should be proud of. Just like what I was saying in the other point, I think we are just ashamed of who we are as Christians, and we are even scared to publicize who we are and to shout who we are and say it. I am chosen. No, I'm not going to say it like that. Of course, I'm chosen. But of course, we kind of forget who we are, and it is not making sense that we allow the world's identity about us to change. We are chosen of God, and there is nothing wrong with declaring who we are. Our identity have been marred from the very beginning, which I clearly understand, right from the creation story. And when we look at the works of the devil so far, all through the years, we can see that the devil does not really go after your children, or go after your wife, or go after your business, or go after your money, or go after love or anything. Hold up, the devil goes after our identity first. That is the first thing he does before he even starts his work. Because once you lose your identity, then you lose who you are, and then it's easy for him to penetrate into you or into all that concerns you. When we look at Eve, we can see that the devil came in that kind of regalia, in that kind of way, and it firstly came in the form of a serpent. I don't know if he entered the serpent or something. I've not gotten that story straight, but the devil came in form of a serpent, right? And when he came, he didn't come and say, Eve, this apple is good, this apple is a must eat by you, Eve, this is the best apple you can ever taste. No, he went after Eve's identity. And Eve started to question herself if I tell you that the devil is not tampering with my mental health, I'll say I'm joking. For the first time in a long time that I'm deciding to vlog or talk about a trending issue, NEPA took light. Imagine, they took the light for over almost an hour now, which seldom happens, like it rarely happens, especially in the evening time. And if you watched my last video, for those who have not watched it, you can watch it. I was being vulnerable. I was talking about the fact that a lot of gadgets were packing off, they were spoiling and all that. And for now, I can only use electricity to vlog because the batteries are dead, like they have spoiled, like literally fell down. And all those batteries, like I don't know if you know, like these LED batteries, once they fall, like there's nothing that can be done to them. And I have been patiently waiting for these people to bring the light. They've not bring the light though, and I decided to use the only battery I have. Let's just hope that this battery takes me to the end of this video, and I'll kind of wrap up everything I have to say. So I was talking about the fact that the devil is against our identity right from Eve's story, right from creation story. Eve was a normal woman, right? The devil did not come and tell her that, you know what, you need to taste that fruit. That fruit is dope. That fruit is sweet. That fruit is something that you can never ever, you can never ever miss. It didn't come in that manner, of course. It came in a subtle, let me check the mic. Okay, it's okay. It came in a subtle manner, of course. And I was like, you know what? Did God ask you not to eat that fruit? You know what? Don't you want to be wise? Was Eve ever foolish? She was made in the image of God. Of course, she's wise already. So she forgot her identity. I'm so stressed out right now. But we move. We are going to do this. So we're saying something about identity crisis on the fact that Eve thought she was foolish or thought she was not wise enough. And she has forgotten, because the Bible clearly said, ye are gods. She has clearly forgotten that the life of God is in her. The wisdom of God is in her. The presence of God is with her. She's forgotten everything, and she started seeking to become something that she's already is. Do you understand what I'm saying? Of course. And, from seeking to, admiring, and the things are looking all sweet and beautiful. And she ate it, passed it on to her husband, and here we are. So I think the fact that this particular sect of people are so confident on their identity, are so confident on who they are so confident on what they are so confident on, like, I am chosen of God. I think that is the highest point, or one of the highest points you can get as a Christian. Just like you are sick and you're declaring I am healed. Just like you are broke and you're declaring I'm rich. Just like you are sad and you're declaring I'm happy. Just declaring something that may not even be. It is worth it, because that is our identity. Because we are children of God. We are a royal priesthood. We are an holy nation. We bring forth the presence of the person that have called us out of darkness into the kingdom of his dear son. So who are we to question someone's identity, how or where they say it? I am starting to see myself in this same identity. I'm starting to see myself as a chosen woman, a woman chosen of God, a woman chosen to liberate, a voice, a sound. I'm starting to see myself as someone who cannot be defined by my past, as someone who cannot be defined by what has happened to my parents, as someone who cannot be defined by my environment. I'm starting to see myself as a whole new creation. And if we are sleeping on this identity thing, I hope we can wake up, like stand up, because this is who we are. And if some people are proud of who they are, regardless of whether they are literate about it or not, then who are we we are choosing. Exactly. I'm not saying anything about that identity's sake, because we all have to wake up to the kind of people we want to be. We all have to wake up to the kind of people we want to be presumed to be called. If you are choosing, then definitely we are choosing, and it will start working in our lives. It will start working for us, whether or not we look chosen or not. I feel like I'm preaching, but let's go to the third one. The third one is on the fact that they are really, really vulnerable to ask of God. You know, I watched a testimony of a woman in that church who gave a testimony on the fact that she was in the exam or she was able to ask. I know that the majority of us, I mean, like 90% of us, don't even ask God when we are stranded in exam halls. In fact, we will first ask our friends, get information. In fact, we've even told it off that God cannot even help us in this situation, and on the fact that we have to sort ourselves out. I am also in this boat, and this is something we need to start working on. Asking God for the things we want, no matter how small it is. Asking Him for food, asking Him for bread, asking Him for when we are looking for something, asking Him for joy, asking Him for money, asking Him for anything entirely. If somebody can ask God for anything regardless, and it's happening in our present day, I think it is something we need to grasp. Christians, we are sleeping. We are sleeping on this issue of asking. We think God is too big to attend to some things in our lives. Okay, let me check the mic. Intact. God is too big to attend to something in our life. We think that I'm looking for a pen. God is too big to even help me. But God created us, right? And He sent His only begotten Son, Jesus, for us. And we are His kids, we are His children. So we can ask Him for anything and everything. And there is nothing too small or too big to ask. Jesus basically said, ask and it shall be given unto you. Seek and you will find. Knock and it shall be opened unto you. For everyone that asketh, receiveth. For everyone that seeketh, findeth. For everyone that knocketh, it shall be opened to. So if any of you have, I'm a preacher, right? So if any of you have a child and the child asks for bread, will you give him a stone? Or if anyone has a child and he asks for fish, will you give him a serpent? Even if you are evil, know how to give good gifts to your kids. How much more shall your heavenly Father give to them that ask of you? And don't forget to ask in faith, because some of you can come and say, I've been asking God for this and that. We need to have faith when we ask. And of course, there is a time and there's season for everything. And number 4 lesson is the fact that we are quick to undermine and mock people. Let's just assume that Barack Obama stood here and said something bizarre or something that we cannot relate to. Many of us are going to agree whether or not we relate to it, right? Yes, because he is a pioneer for many things. Or let's say Nelson Mandela, God rest his soul, comes here, or whether he was alive now, and says something. Will we believe? Yes, whether it's supernatural or not. But because some certain type of people are not really vocal, or are not really expanded, or are not really woke enough for us, should not be a criteria to tear their testimony down. We've turned this whole testimony thing to memes, mockery, sounds and all that, which is not right, because we Christians are basically the first set of people to look down on ourselves. You understand? We are the first set of people to laugh at these kind of things and turn them into joke, because this is what God can do. And if God says it, He will do it. And even if He didn't do it, we are still not in place to judge, mock or condemn them. I find many people in other religions so stern on the reputation of their religion. They are really close, and they hold their religion up high, that it's really hard to penetrate or to condemn whatever they do. They might not be in accordance with each other, but once one person comes out and says something against them, they stand up. Where are we Christians going to? Regardless of whether we are woke, literate, illiterate, or anything, we should stop bashing or making mockery of each other on the first sight. Even if it's wrong, or even if it's something that should not be said or done, we can pray for them that they see the light. And afterwards, we move on. Like, there are so many things that are happening in this country, or wherever country you are. So many things are happening even in our lives that needs intervention. And if you are making mockery of someone's intervention, then what of your own testimony that is going to come? Will you be happy if people start mocking you and laughing at your testimony? No. So I think we should stop being in the forefront of mocking others, but start praying for others and start interceding for other people. We should stop being in the forefront of judging others, but start looking at other people the same way God looks at them: special, ordained, and of course chosen. That takes me to my fifth and final lesson, which is on the fact, I said it already, God is supernatural. He is able to do exceedingly abundantly. And if you doubt someone's testimony of divine intervention during our exams, you are clearly telling God that, God, when I have my exams, when I cry for help, don't answer me. I don't need your help during exams. I have my own help. I have my own source. Exactly. Mocking someone's testimony is clearly denying yourself of similar testimony. And if someone says an animal almost hurt him and you laugh, and yes, it appears funny, and what if a dog start attacking you? Exactly. Instead of us believing, or will I say instead of us disbelieving and laughing at this testimony, let's just bring our focal point to the fact that God is able to do even things that are beyond our imagination, because that is where supernatural is from, above the natural, something that we cannot even think of, something that we cannot even imagine. Like, I cannot even imagine walking around a building, it's not even a building, a whole town, walking around a whole town 7 times. The 7th time I shouted hallelujah 7 times and the wall came down flat. Nobody is going to understand me. Or if I said, and I walk towards Lekki Beach rather, and I took out a staff and I divided it. And I said, where's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob? And this thing opened into 2. Oh God, I'm kind of imagining this thing. And nobody will believe it. But these things have happened. It has happened. It is going to happen, and it is still happening whether we like it or not. It might not be in the form of which you want it. We humans, especially Christians, we're kind of, staging God's testimony for him, telling God that, okay, this is how the testimony should be. God was, is, and will be when we leave this world. So let him do his own work. Let him do what he wants to do. And it is very important that we don't forget his acts, but we should embrace them, and even in doubt, just glorify him and leave it like that. And of course, I'm embracing God's supernatural acts on this channel because this video is going to blow up and it's going to get 4,000 watch hour and more than 1,000 subscribers from this video, just because I am chosen. I am chosen of God. I'm chosen to excel. I'm chosen to, to enjoy divine speed, divine acceleration. I'm chosen to enjoy divine grace. The grace of God is upon me. The hand of God is upon me. And if this is something we start seeing ourselves as, I think Christianity or Christians will be a better place farther than we are now. We are not perfect. Of course, I am not perfect. But taking steps to become truly different from who we are, or taking steps to becoming true Christians, is the beginning of, I think, our redemption, our ability. Don't forget that you're chosen. We are all chosen of God. And there is no reason to make mockery of how someone is saying their own declaration, or where or in the stance someone is saying theirs. They are them. You are you. I am me. But we are all Christians. City divided against himself cannot stand. Exactly. So thank you so much. When I said my video is going to 4,000 watch hours, oh God, I know some of you will have laughed. Yes, because I'm chosen of God. I'm seeing myself that way. And this page will be monetized this month. Yeah, I'm seeing myself that way because there's nothing God cannot do. And yes, exactly. Thank you so much, guys, for watching this video. Do well to like, share, subscribe. Let's know what you think down the comment section below. Anytime I say that, I think I'm saying the wrong thing, like saying tautology. Let's know what you think in the comment section. Exactly. And I'm already exhausted, plus the live stuff and all that. My voice is already going. But I'm glad I got to shoot this, and I'm glad I got to air my thoughts. You are chosen of God. Don't ever forget that.